Good morning. I'm Monte Anderman here at Cinder Lakes Training Center, Ranch and Repo, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit this morning about lead changes. And the stuff that I'll cover works on old horses, works on young horses, and it's just a program that has worked for me that I've taken from several others, from Jack Brainerd, from Jim Dudley, and I think that's a technique for everybody is you just got to find something that works for you. One thing, I've never got on a horse that's had trouble changing leads that was good in the prerequisites, and that for me is pretty simple things. Control of the shoulder, control of the hip, and forward motion. I don't get extravagant with those things, but I do. One of the problems that I see oftentimes is right now we're on a straight line and you can move the shoulder and wind up in this position. Or you can be back on that straight line and you can move the hip and get in that position. Two totally different things, but they have to be separated. And you need both, but you have to have them separated. I like a horse to be able to press off of my leg and to just stay hooked. I don't want, when I put that leg on and ask to move over, I don't want energy to leak out through his face. Now again, doesn't have to be low-headed, doesn't have to be high-headed, just has to be accepting and willing of that leg. We want to have that everywhere. And again, want to have a nice lope departure. Want them to accept that leg, wait, and lope. Same thing at a lope, be able to move that horse over, willing, accepts it. This is a drill that I like to do. I found that it works out very well. You can do lead changes. It doesn't affect your circles. They don't get to cheating you across the middle, but yet you can do as many lead changes as what you want to do. I'll get into some counter cantering, but one thing that I see way overused is the counter canter. People get to fretting lead changes so bad and they worry so much about the anticipation, and especially on one that is having difficulty with the lead change, they have to anticipate it. Every other maneuver we do, they anticipate. As we get to walking and trotting around into a smaller circle, they know a spin is coming. As we head down the arena, they know that they got to stop. If they're not thinking about it, it doesn't happen. And with a really good leaded one, or a great one, everything works. But on one that's having trouble with it, you have to set up a scenario where you can repeat it and they know that it's coming. And I always say with the counter canter, you're only counter cantering if at any given time you can change leads. If you're not and you can't, you're just loping around in the wrong lead. And I see trainers taking horses, 2-year-olds that they've never changed a lead on, and counter cantering. Well, you take all the lead change there that's out. They get to the point where they think that's what they're supposed to do and they're comfortable. And I don't mind a little bit when I'm counter cantering that they want to change leads and have that feeling that Can I change now? Can I change now? Can I change now? I want to be able to override that, but I want that there. I don't want them comfortable and thinking, oh boy, this loping around in the wrong lead is good stuff and it's fun stuff. And the same thing in the counter canter. Want to have the same kind of lope departure. And there's some of it that is clearing the shoulder. And there's some of it that is pushing, ruddering the hip around. And I think you have to do both. I like to keep my horses in the counter canter looking to the outside. I don't find that there's a need to ever want them to look back at my leg. And then once you've got the counter canter going and on an old horse, especially if you're having trouble changing leads or cheating across the middle, you can come across there, change, not go the other way. There's all kinds of innovative things that you can The other thing that I try and get away from as soon as possible, you see an awful lot of people, they push them into the lead and then change. I don't like to do that. I think that they get to the point in your circles that if you have to use this to get them locked onto a circle, they don't think about moving, in this case, to the left. They just worry about that when you take it off, they've got to change. And again, one of the most common mistakes that I see, people will have their lope departure, they'll put that leg on, they'll hold it, they'll squeeze, they have a lope departure. But for some reason, when they go to change leads, they just want to go and stab them. And that just creates anticipation, and they don't get the point that they like the maneuver. And again, wherever that sweet spot is, and however much pressure that you have to use for that lope departure is exactly the same sweet spot and the same amount of pressure that you need for the lead change. Pretty simple. Don't dread it.
We created Equo, a simple and safe app that connects riders and drivers instantly. Here's how it works. It's really simple. You just sign up through the app, and you're ready for your custom ride. Equo Rush has on-demand drivers ready to make emergency travel a safe experience. Riders can schedule rides in advance with Equo Planned. And Equo Pool allows you to share rides with others for a cost-efficient trip. Next, select the destination and accept fares without having to use cash. One of our professional drivers will be notified and send a fast response for your convenience. Submit your request, and done! You're ready to Equo. All of our drivers are experienced professionals who get continuous training to handle any situation. Providing a safe, comfortable, and secure ride is our #1 priority. That's why we equip every Equo ride with step-by-step tracking and standby emergency assistance. You'll be able to get custom updates and monitor each ride directly from your phone. Welcome to the next level of equine transportation. Welcome to Equo.